Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss Social Security and Labor laws for UPSC, EPFO, EVO, and APFC exam. This session includes Maternity Benefit Act of 2017 and MATRU VANDANA YOJANA. Before knowing about Maternity Benefit Act, Indian Constitution Article 42, which comes under Directive Principles of State Policy, which says states to make provisions just for just and human conditions of work and for the maternity relief. Maternity relief related provision comes under DPSP under Article 42. DPSP is non-justiciable in nature, but to build a welfare state, we must adopt this in our governance. Now we can move on to the provisions comes under 2017 Maternity Benefit Acts. Original Maternity Benefit Act was 1961. Later it was amended in 2017. The main intention of this act was to promote gender equality in the workplace and support women in balancing their professional and personal responsibilities. In Indian society, women are the main caretakers of the children. Once they get married and once they give birth to the children, their presence in their employment is reduced. Their presence in their workforce is reduced. This we can see by number of reports. Global Gender Gap of World Economic Forum also says their presence is reduced after the give birth to their children. And the main provision of this act is this act, Maternity Benefit Act 2017, it grants maternity leave to 26 weeks of maternity leave. Earlier it was 12 weeks, but amended Act of 2017 made it to 26 weeks for women employed in employment establishments with 10 or more employees. If a company have 10 or more employees, then they must give maternity leave of 26 weeks. And this maternity leave is applied to the only first two children, and for the third children and remaining subsequent children, this leave is entitlement remains 12 weeks. So this point also remember, maternity benefit leave 26 weeks of leave is applied to only first two children. For the third children, not 26 weeks of leave, it is only 12 weeks. This law also introduces for adopting and commissioning mothers also. It grants them 12 weeks of leave from the date of the child is handed over. Adopting process is a very lengthy. That's why once the child is handed over to the adopting mother, from them on 12 weeks of maternity leave will give to them, because initial days there must be a good environment, much attachment between the mother and the children. So because of this reason, this law also allows adopting mothers also maternity leave they will get. And this law also mandates establishment of creche facilities in the establishment with 50 or more employees and allows women to visit the creche during the time of work minimum 4 times during the day. If a company is having 50 or more employees, then they must be established creche facilities, and they must allow to visit women minimum 4 times a day, because initial days children mainly focus for their food on breastfeeding and lactating mothers. That's why this law allows to visit creche 4 times during the day. Take a screenshot of this tabular column and revise before the exam. This law also also encourages the work from home options after post maternity leave. It depends upon the type of work. If her work is promotes remote work, then employer must allow her to work from home option. So this law is very important. It promotes gender equality in the workplace, and it also supports women to balance their professional and personal responsibilities. If any employer is violating this law, then imprisonment for 3 months to 1 year, and there is also provision of the fine that is 2000 rupees to 5000 rupees. It is the right of every woman. You must be aware of this and must pass this message to your neighbors. They must aware about their rights. One condition is also there. If a woman to get maternity leave in a company, then she must be worked minimum of 160 days in a period of 12 months before her expected date of child delivery. If she worked for 160 days, then only she can take maternity benefit leaves, paid leaves for 26 weeks. Maternity Benefit Act 2017 mainly applies to the organized workforce, but in India 97% of the workers work in unorganized sector. So for them there is a scheme, Pradhana Mantri MATRU Vandana YOJANA. This scheme, it aims to promote, supports pregnant and lactating women, especially from the disadvantaged background. These schemes come under Ministry of Women and Child Development. This scheme grants financial incentives, rupees 5000 for the first child and rupees 6000 for the second girl child. If a second child is boy, then this scheme will not apply to them. If a second girl child is if second one is girl child, then only Matru Vandana Yojana applies to them. And this scheme is also linked to Janani Suraksha Yojana. This promotes institutional delivery. So this program also grants 1000 rupees. So 5000 rupees for the first child plus 1000 rupees. So totally 6000 rupees they will get under Pradhana Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. It promotes healthcare, nutrition and positive behavior change of a girl child. And now we see the conditions of eligibility and exclusions. As I said, pregnant women between the ages of 18 years 7 months to 55 years will be eligible for Matru Vandana Yojana. And if second child is boy, then financial incentive will not get to them. And these about Matru Vandana Yojana. If you like this content, please subscribe this channel and share with your friends. Coming days I will come with more interesting topics. Kindly share with your friends. Thank you all for your wonderful time.